Hey guys, what's up? What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Hey Trash, hey Ice, Barbara, Julie. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there if you would. Hey Rose, Becking at her, what's happening? Jacqueline, good to see ya. What's up, Smitty? Mystic Dragon, D. Deacons. Somebody give me a 5 for 5, guys. Okay, cool. What's up, Cheryl? Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and dive into it, okay? That way we can get through the information and everything first, and then we will, we'll go from there. And we'll, hang around after I do this, and we can talk and ask questions, and you guys can, we can do what we normally do, but I do want to get to the information first, out of respect for other people that don't have the time. So, anyway, so let's just do that. Hey, the Recovery Channel, good to see you. Okay, so I'm not going to address the chat anymore. I'm going to try not to even, not till I get through this. So the Schumann Resonance, guys, I'm not even going to talk about it because there's nothing here to see right now, okay? It's just nothing's going on with it, so I'm not even going to waste too much time on it. Obviously, you guys are here to see what we were talking about, a geomagnetic storm heading our way, and it is from this particular flare and CME involved with it. We've had other ones after. C-class flare here just happened a few hours ago. Something I didn't show you guys before. What's up, Ribby? But what you're seeing here is that's radiation. That's protons. Okay, we talk about this from time to time. I've only been able to show you a couple different radiation storms since my channel's been up. And the reason for that is because when I put my channel up, we were in solar minimum. Okay, now we're moving towards solar max, and it's definitely, and I have to say this too, our sun cycle is overperforming what they said it was going to so far. And that's just in relation to the amount of sunspots, and I'll show you guys that here in a few minutes. But to this, this eruption on the sun, I have not been more confident this year at all, period, that this thing is going to hit us. I cannot see any way around this thing missing us. So let me just say that first and foremost. You guys know I don't do that hardly ever because I don't want to go out here and step out here and do this. Now, I did a video earlier. Not a lot of you guys have seen it, I don't think, because it was at an odd hour when I did the live stream. It had like 2,000 views or something like that. But I did it right after this thing fired off. I was getting ready to go lay down, and that's why I went ahead and did that. Usually I wait because we got 3 days before this thing gets here, right? So I typically wait. You guys know that. Anybody that's been around for a minute. But this time I didn't. But yeah. Also, guys, before we move forward, I don't ask this a whole lot, but could you guys share this one, if you would? Share this video out or share this live stream. Actually, if you guys, let me show you guys how to, you can do this pretty easily. I'm going to show you guys how to do it real quick because not a lot of people even know that this is how you can do it. So, if you go to anybody's video, let's just go to mine from earlier. I'm only going to take a second to do this, okay? See where it says share? If you hit the share button, it says create post. If you hit create post right there, you can put in whatever you want to type there, and you can hit post, and it will automatically send it out as a community post from your channel. So you can share it that way. I would encourage you guys to do that for me. That would be great if you could. I just want to get this one out because I think this is important for people to see. Also, share it to Facebook or wherever else you guys want to share. You guys know I try to do the best I can here, and I just want to, keep moving forward. I don't ever ask that of you guys. If that offended somebody, I apologize. It's not my intent. I just want to, like I said, I want to do good too, just like everybody else, if that makes any sense. But let me move this back to the Go Live screen there for a second. So we'll go ahead, and I'm sorry I got sidetracked there. But anyway, geomagnetic activity, right? This is what's going to happen when we get hit with this CME. This is what we're going to be looking at. Most likely it's a G2. I actually think the way that this thing is popping off, we could actually see a higher level there. Okay? I'm not saying that we are. I do think that there is a chance that we could, though. And again, I'll tell you why here in just a second. But here is NOAA Space Weather's forecast for what's going on. Now, we know that the typical time frame is 3 to 5 days for a CME to arrive here, right? So given that fact, the closer to 3 days it is, or even before that, if it can arrive quicker than that, that means it's coming here faster, which means that it's moving faster, which will hit us harder. Okay, that's the significance of that. Right now, like I said, this one fired off in between right around, I can't remember the exact time frame here. I think it was like 8 or 9 UTC. Okay, on the 9th. This is hitting us late in the day on the 11th. So you got the 9th to the 10th is 1 day, 10th to the 11th is 2 days. It's just a little over 2 days, and this thing is hitting us. So what's that telling you? That's telling you it's moving fast. Not only that, but they're saying G1, G2, G1, then we bump back down, and then we go back up to a G1. We're going to stay, they're saying we're going to stay in storm level for quite some time there. That's actually a fairly significant amount of time to stay in storm level. It really is. A lot of times you'll see it will pop on there just for a 3-hour increment and move forward. You're looking at 3, 6, 9, going back down, and then another 3 hours of it. So, yeah, this is something that we haven't seen this year yet, just so you guys know. This sun cycle, as a matter of fact. I've not seen this prediction be like this and be confident in enough to come out here like that and say, hey, I really think that actually could be what's going to happen. So, just so you guys can see that. Now, here's that sunspot that did fire it off. Look at it's still right in front of us. I mean, like right at us. Here's its friends it's playing with. That's why it keeps, firing off. Now, you could probably fit 1, 2, maybe 3 Earths inside of that. Okay, I'm going to get you guys a scale version of the Earth for these. I just got to take the time to do it. I just haven't done it yet. I want you guys to be able to, get kind of an idea of how big these things actually are. Yeah, you're right, Smitty. 100%. Guys, read Smitty's comment there. 100%. Yeah, it'll slow down because of that. But anyway, again, here's NOAA's prediction model. This is the Enlil spiral. This isn't NOAA's model. Okay, this is an Enlil spiral model, and NOAA inputs their data the way that they want to get the outcome that they think is the best. That's why this one and this one are almost exactly the same, right? They look very similar, correct? But this is NASA's tool here. So they're using the same model, basic model parameters, but they're adding it in there in a different way. Okay? They're taking certain things into consideration more than others. Now this is NOAA's, and this is a lot of people go off of this one. Plus we can go to the European Space Agency over there too, and they use the same model with their way that they do it, right? So there's a lot of things, especially when all three of these models kind of agree. That's when you really typically know something may be going to happen. Okay? And I don't want to blow this out of proportion because the G2 storm isn't like world ending or, nothing like that. But the reason why it's significant is we just haven't been able to say that this confident that this is going to happen yet this year. So I just want to say that. Hey, man. Now, notice, guys, look here. They changed their the size of what they're going to show you here. Okay, a lot of times we come over here and this will say 1, 5, and 10. Okay, that's density, right? Right now it's saying 10 to 50. Why do they do that? Well, so they can plot it because it's way over 10. So, plus if you look where stereo A is at, stereo A is going to take a really, really hard hit there, density-wise. And then they did the same down here with the velocity, kilometers per second. So, yeah. So if you're looking at that, watch what happens. Okay, watch here on these end little spirals. This is a top-down view. This is side views here, right? The top, again, is density, and it's wind speed down here. Now, what really caught my eye on this one was the wind speed. Watch over here where my cursor is. Watch what this thing does when this thing fires off. Okay? I've not seen it do that in a long time. Okay, and watch as it spreads out. Okay, that's some intense stuff. Now, what I want to point out here is, even though this thing is going to hit us almost dead on, the actual wind speed, intense wind speed, looks like it could sail a little to the north. We're still going to catch it right in the middle. I'm not saying that at all. But the most intense wind speed, now I want to point something out here too, though. The most intense wind speed, it might glance us, but the most intense density most likely is going to hit us. And I've explained that before. Usually when you have lower wind speed, you get higher density, and vice versa. This is kind of showing you the same thing. Notice how it looks almost like two arcs. Well, there was a couple different little pops there, but this is more of a wave action that happens. Smitty was talking about it. You can kind of get things to slow down in certain areas, and that's what happens. So as we're looking at this, there we go. I mean, in my mind, there's no doubt that this thing is hitting us. And to kind of confirm that even more, we will go over here to NASA's version. Same thing, guys. I've never seen it do this right at our planet. Okay? And again, I'm not saying that it doesn't. It does. I've seen it on from before I did my channel. I've watched other people show it. But when I've never shown it look like this before since my channel has been up. So, as you're looking at this, top-down version again. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. How about that? Okay. Now, I'm going to point something out here, and I'm not sure if anybody else is, what's up, G-Money, is pointed this out yet. But if you look, and I've been talking about this for a while now, planetary alignment has a lot to do with when we see eruptions, okay? Or even the formation of sunspots. Okay? So what's happening here? We got to understand what we're looking at, right? The sun's here, obviously, in the middle. What's these lines here? Those are IMF lines, okay? That's our connection to the sun. That's how the solar wind gets here. So, let's see here. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you, bud. Again, I'm trying not to look at that. I enjoy talking to you guys a lot. I like building a connection personal, and it's hard for me to step back and just do what I'm doing right now. When I was doing just upload videos all together and that was it, no live streaming, I was able to edit a lot of my talking all crazy around different subjects out of there so you guys didn't have to, endure that. But as you're looking here, this is top down. So what are we looking at as far as our key? Well, the yellow ball here is Earth. This over here is Venus. That's Mercury, the orange. Watch when this thing fires off. Look what happened. It lined right up with us. Okay? So that definitely, in my opinion, sometimes that does help things blow, right? So, I'm not saying that that's why it did it, but the timing of it is almost just too perfect for it not to have had some kind of influence on that. Just saying. Hey, Body and Soul. Now, this is the side view, right? This allows us to see if it's going to go north or south of us. And definitely going to hit us right in the middle. I mean, there's no glancing nothing here, guys, okay? This is our orbital line stretched out in a straight line. To give you reference, this red box here is stereo A, and that's what this is. This blue box is stereo B, and that's what this is. So as this, look what happens here. Wham. Okay, it's like right on us. So I do think that this is going to happen. We're not going to dodge this one. And I do think it's going to be significant enough that we're going to get at least to G1. Okay, I'll just say that. And again, I don't want anybody out there to be scared or anything. I'll show you exactly what happens during these kinds of storms here in just a second. But notice how this line here it bumped up a little bit on the red there. That is that proton, that radiation storm stuff that we were talking about. Usually that's just straight right across the board, but because of the M-class flare, it sent some protons our way. And that's what happened there. Okay? So, just so you know. When's it going to hit, Cheryl? If their forecasting is correct over here on NOAA, it's going to be late in the day on the 11th. We're getting ready to, well, about 24 hours from now. If that. And this thing didn't blow. I mean, this is, yeah, it is, isn't it, Rip? That's one of the bigger hits that we've seen. Yeah, Smitty, I agree. Yeah, G1 for sure, if not G2. I'm actually thinking, because it's moving fast. It really is, guys. It's moving faster than what we typically see, at least from what we've seen in the past few years before we're ramping up here. We're going to see this more and more often. But it's moving faster than just, in my opinion, a G1. But that's just, again, there's a whole lot of factors that have to come into play when we're talking about how this actually does play out and how strong it gets. And that's why I'm kind of hesitant just to come out and say, hey, we're going to get this and get that. I don't want people to, number one, freak out at all, because there's no reason to. A couple reasons there. This is nothing to freak out about, number one, okay? And number two, if it was, I would tell you, and guess what? We can't do nothing about it anyway. It's going to come whether we want it to or not. And that's the thing. We don't worry, especially here. I've been preaching this for a long time. I don't like using that word preach, but it is what it is. Be aware. Don't be scared. We don't worry about stuff we can't control. It's, and I know it's easier said than done. I absolutely get that. Okay. But at the same time, if we really try to make that apply in our lives, you're going to make better decisions when the time comes down to actually, a really bad situation happening. So with that being said, there's that part of it. Now I want to show you guys what it looks like. I'll show you the Discover data here. Again, guys, nothing's happening on our planet right now except for this. Check this out. This is density. We went from 7 to 8 on density, and within, I don't know, let's just call it an hour or two here. Well, what is that? Those are 3-hour increments there. Probably about 2 hours. We've had an increase in density. So that's probably from a coronal hole. I think it is, if I remember correctly. We're not, geomagnetically, I haven't seen this been moved yet. So we'll wait and see the next 3-hour block here, whatever it plots. And remember, this is 24-hour observed maximums, okay? The R1 is the radio blackout that I already showed you guys in the previous video. Okay, what's up, Joe? Good to see you. So, yeah. That's something else I'm working on too, guys. Is I'm trying to quit saying It's just my fallback on what I do. Yeah, you're right, Smitty. 100%. Guys, I have to say this too. Hey, Tom. Lee, what's up? Rick? Gosh, I got to quit doing that. I forgot what I was even going to say now. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, guys. I really am. I'm trying to not do that. So, this is wind speed. This is our magnetopause, magnetosphere, our magnetic field, right? The sun's to the left. This is representing the bow shock, kinda. I'm not going to say its exact position because it's not. Our bow shock is where our magnetic field meets the solar wind or CME action, that kind of thing. It would do the same for anything else out there that has a magnetic field. There would be a bow shock for them too. So just understand that. Nothing big there. Now I would probably say that we'll probably see this one might move a little bit. This is density and density only. Again, a lot of times when you look at this one in particular, it'll look like the bow shock isn't even there. But remember, what's it take to have a bow shock? What I just said. You absolutely have to have some sort of solar weather and a magnetic field. Okay, so in order for there not to be that point of hitting, and for that to be gone, one of those two things or both of them would have to go away. And I promise you, if either one of those was to happen, we wouldn't be having this conversation, guys. It would be impossible. I don't even know if we'd still be here. That's kind of what I'm saying. But notice that, see how this is representing a bow shock that looks like that, and you don't see it here. Why is that? Well, because right here, where our bow shock is, the density is the same as it is in front of it and behind it. That's why you can't see it. I mean, I remember there was a couple videos in a row made by somebody, well, I guess in our community, I'll just say that. He's been around for a long time and did a video like, our bow shock's down, red alert, Earth's protection is gone. If that is not fear-mongering, you tell me what is. And this came from a person that would complain about fear-mongering. It just blew my mind. But anyway, again, you can see a bow shock here too. It does not resemble this at all. So that's my point. I want you guys to understand what you're looking at. You know what I mean? You can believe or tell me I'm wrong all day long, and that's fine. I would sit right next to you and listen to what you had to say, as long as you understood that what this tool is trying to represent. And that's what I'm trying to help everybody with. You know, understand what you're looking at, and then, you know, make your observations and believe how you want to believe after that. I mean, I'm not going to be either, I won't be mad or glad. You know, I'm kind of neutral on all that. So, but as you're moving through here, guys, you know, you're seeing all that. Obviously, the density is going to be less behind our protection. Okay? The dense particles, you see it right here in the back. That stays there typically. And that, you know, things just kind of build up there. After it gets into our system, it kind of hangs out there for the most part. You'll see it on the magnetic pressure too. See? That's not out of the ordinary. That's something we see all the time right there. Matter of fact, when I've shown you guys in the past how all of this was completely beet red. Then remember, this is supposed to be representing something three-dimensional, but it's a two-dimensional, model. So, you got to try to think of it and wrap your brain around how these things actually work. You got dawn, dusk. That's the other thing too. This is a top-down view. Okay? The Y cut is a top-down view. The Z cut, those are different axes is what they're talking about there. Axes, I guess is the correct word. But this is a side cut. You got north-south. Right? Oh, really? Huh. Okay. Awesome. We can address that in a little while after I get the information out. Yeah. Moderators, I'll just let you guys know right now, there's no need to boot people like that or even time them out as long as they don't get vulgar or disrespectful towards somebody else. Okay? They can have their voice. I don't care. Okay? They're welcome to think that. My actions and my thoughts prove otherwise. I don't have to really defend it because it's already there. So anyway, this is ISWA. Well, actually, guys, let's show you seeds first. Okay, this is going to be the halo. Boom. Okay, and just that's actually kind of bothering me just a touch here. So let me just address this real quick. Like I've been saying since the beginning of this video, there's nothing to fear. I said it multiple times. Just so everybody understands. So I hope this is not coming across as that. That's not my intent. So, just so you know. But this is definitely, this is a halo, okay? And remember, when these things halo out like this, we don't know if they're going towards the back, firing off the backside, or coming at us. Okay? So, how do we know? Well, we have to look at a side view, at least. So, this is from SOHO, which is our perspective. Okay? This satellite sits about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we do. It's always looking at the sun, and it stays out in front of us as we orbit around the sun. So that's what the purpose of SOHO is. It's out there. That's the position of it. It's caught a lot of sun divers, which is cool. I've shown you guys that a lot. But when you see halos like this, you know, we just don't know if they're coming at us unless we go look at a different tool. So let me play this again, and what I'll do is I'll slow it down a little bit. Let's go. Okay, yeah, I'll start that. We'll slow it down. We'll let it run. See that? Okay, it's definitely significant. Okay. So yeah, I'll stick around, Flyboy. William Shatner's going to be stopping by later. He'll be pointing at the crazy monkey on the airplane wing. Anyway, there was another eruption over here too that's not coming at us. I'll show that to you in a second. But this is definitely a decent sized eruption. So let's look at the side view, partial side view. Remember, this thing is moving closer and closer to Earth. The satellite itself is, okay, as we go through time. So here we go. Let's back that off. So, yeah. But how close can our technology get to the sun before damage seriously? Oh, that's a good question, Smitty. I'll answer that here in just a few minutes. The Parker SP actually kissed the sun. It got into the corona of the sun. And I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. But as you can see there, guys, number one, it's not moving slow. You can tell that by the timestamp. You don't even really have to go look at any. You need to go look at the data on how fast it's moving if you want to know the exact time. But this is going to tell you right off the bat just by looking at the timestamp that this is moving pretty quick. Okay, so and again, where's Earth? Right here. So. Now, we don't know. Again, we wouldn't have known that's coming our direction unless we looked at the front view too, right? So both of those confirm it. Not to mention the models. So that's how I go through all those steps every time I come out here. And I hope you guys understand what I was trying to show there, because it definitely is significant. You know, Missy, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things I don't, I don't have a secondary education on this, is what I'm trying to say. Everything that I've learned and everything has been by watching people that are way smarter than me. Okay? And believe me, go watch some of my earlier vids and you'll see where I made lots of mistakes. And like I've talked about multiple times here, guys, I struggle leaving those up because I don't want people to get the wrong information and understand it incorrectly. But I leave them there for one reason, so you guys can understand that it's okay to make a mistake. And as long as you come out and you try to correct it. So, yeah. But let's take a look at these. Matter of fact, I'm just going to fire them all. Well, I don't know if I'm going to fire them all up, but let's go ahead and come into that. Now you're going to see again, you'll see that that's the small C class one that fired off. And then you're going to see the M class flare fire here. There's another C, and here it comes. Right about there. Okay. Now watch over here. You're going to see another eruption. See it right there? See how it got disturbed there in the corona? That was not coming at us, just so you understand that. Now, look here, guys. We have coronal hole, too. So, my guess is, and this is what I was looking at earlier, over here, you see they're forecasting? This is probably from the CME. This is probably just a coronal hole stream that's going to hit us right after the CME does. And it probably pushed us into storm level because we already had a lot of that hanging around. So, just saying. What's up, Seven? Comet Inky. You know, Dillard, I don't research that, to be honest with you. I just try to do the space weather thing because simply, you know, there's a lot of stuff there that I just can't explain. I just don't know how to prove or disprove any of that stuff. It takes so much to do that, and you know, it does. It really does. But again, is what it is. But yeah, so let's there's that. So that is the CME, guys. That is what we can expect. Now let me show you guys what conditions we might experience during this. Okay, if it does materialize, this is probably what we're going to be looking at. This is geomagnetic storm levels. If we get to G, I already showed you guys G1 earlier, but G2, high latitude power systems, voltage alarms, long duration storms may cause transformer damage. Corrective action to orientation may be required by ground control. They're talking about satellite stuff there to keep things in orbit. Okay, because what happens is when all these charged particles start bombarding us, and the plasma gets here and all that stuff, right? What happens is it adds drag. We oftentimes, you know, when you're talking about particles, our mind don't really right away go straight to, hey, that's an actual physical thing. So when you take that in consideration, it's going to add friction. You can kind of think of it like this. Go down the road at 60 miles an hour and stick your hand out the window. What are you going to feel? You're going to feel that drag, but you can't see it. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what they're doing here. That's what's happening sometimes with these satellites. It drags them, it'll make them slow down a little bit or whatever, and they have to make adjustments. So, but anyway, high frequency radio propagation can fade at higher latitudes. And auroras have been seen as low as New York and Idaho. That's during a G2. So even down that far could happen, right? So as you get up here, if we get into a G3, then, you know, you start getting more and more issues. I mean, you guys can read this for yourself. Go over to NOAA. It's there at the bottom. So, yeah. Now, okay. So, let's, yeah, it's about 30 minutes, guys. So, we'll that's going to be the space weather info, I guess, if we want to call it that. I mean, I'm still going to talk about other stuff here. But if you guys got any questions, go ahead and fire them at me. Oh, the satellites. That's a great question. How close can these satellites get? This is a good, actually, this is a good model here to kind of show you what's going on. If you look at the key here on the NASA model, you're going to see that they're showing satellite locations also. Okay? The Parker SP is in green. It's a green box. It's right here, right where, about where Venus is at, right here underneath where my cursor is. This is the one that went out and kissed the sun. It was a big deal because they're trying to figure out, you know, why is the corona hotter than the surface? So, yeah. But as you can see, that they put that one there. Is it the Parker SP? It actually is on the move quite a bit. They control it. They move it around. I mean, I've seen it. It's been behind the sun. Okay. I mean, they take it everywhere. I'm not sure exactly how they're controlling it and how accurate and how long it takes to actually move it, but hey, that's a good question, Amber. How will a magnetic storm affect La Palma? You know, guys, I can't say anything for sure on that. I'm just not confident enough to say, hey, this is going to increase this or increase that. What I would say is, I mean, I would think that there would be a possibility that it could. affect it in some way. But it would also affect, if La Palma is actually facing the sun when it hits, maybe that would increase the chance of that. I'm not sure. But, there's so many things that cause earthquakes and so many things that cause volcanic eruptions. It's hard to pinpoint down to one thing because there are so many things that have to come into play there that cause these things. Okay? We get earthquakes all over the planet every day, but we don't get solar weather all over the planet every day, other than what's normal. So it's hard to say, exactly what happens on that end. Again, I'm not saying it couldn't affect it, because I think that at the end of the day it can. But can we point directly to that and say, hey, that caused that? I'm not so sure. I don't know. I wish I was more, educated on that. But again, go check out all the earthquake channels. That's what I would say. Obviously you got the bigger names would be what? Dutch, and then you got Ron over at Emergency Management Associates. Terry Rumpel, he's doing his thing on Feed the Sheep, I think is the name of his channel. Guys, you guys know I encourage you guys to go watch everybody, because I think it's important. And listen to what they have to say, and then you guys are smart. Make up your own mind what you think is going to happen and what you believe. Huge volcanoes, is that a question, Hopperson? Just curious. Yeah, Mr. B, he does a lot of good stuff too. You're welcome, Chris. Good. I'm glad you guys are here. I mean, Conspiracy, what's up? Muse, Axe in the house. Jennifer Bucks, what's happening? 10AZ. Yeah. Mercury gets toasted all the time. For sure, that planet takes a beating. For sure. Yeah, Dillard, there. I think what you're saying there, I could agree with. But what I want to say is that I think that that's not the only factor. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. I've not been to that channel, Dillard. Nope. Hey, Wolfie. Oh, what's up? Brittany, what's happening? Pamela's in the house. Rose. Yeah, I wish I had better answers for you guys on the seismic activity. So, yeah. When did what happen before, RV? Talking about like a CME? It actually happened quite a bit. Yeah. Matter of fact, if we go back to this graph here, you see these storm levels? This tells you how many times per sun cycle those things happen. Now, that's the storm level. That's not talking CME, because sometimes you can get storm levels with coronal holes and stuff like that. But a lot of times they're with CMEs. Oh, I was going to show you guys that too. I'm sorry, I forgot to show you guys the sun cycle data. If you guys look at this, this is a pretty good graph to look at. Basically, you can compare sun cycle 24 to 25, or you can take it back to wherever you want, back this far. But if you look at the same place we're in sun cycle 25 and compare it to 24, we're more active as far as the amount of sunspots we've had. Now, it's not saying that we're more active as far as eruptions or flares, but what that's saying is we've got more chances of those happening when there's more sunspots facing us, or, on the Earth-facing disk. Who asked me a question? I kind of forget that. A storm like this. Okay, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, RV. I kind of drew a blank there. Yeah, I mean, they happen all the time, to be honest with you. They're going to happen a lot more than what most people think that have never been exposed to this kind of data. If you look at this, guys, you know, you're looking at 1,700 times per cycle, 11-year cycle, roughly, that we get a G1 storm. 600, and look up here, I mean, even the G5 storms, 4 times per cycle. So, you know, when we get these storms, it does not necessarily mean it isn't what we already expected. But I'm pointing this stuff out now because we are overachieving right now. And there was a lot of question whether or not we were going to go into some deep solar minimum or if we were going to actually, you know, have a more active thing, a more active season. And I've seen peer-reviewed papers and studies on both sides. So when that happens, it's like, where do you fall, you know? Oh, I have no idea about that, RB. I don't know. Oh, you're welcome, Lee. I appreciate you. Hey, Ricky, you in here? Is Ricky still here? Good to see you. Hey, body and soul. Yeah, Ricky is very intelligent when it comes to earthquakes, guys. So I would, you know, if she's in here, I'm sure she'd be more willing, you know, be willing to answer some questions. She's really good about that. This late in the year, Godric, it doesn't really have anything to do with seasons. Okay, because when we're orbiting the sun has sunspots on all sides. So what causes our seasons is our position in our orbit, in our tilt, right? And that's, you know, yeah. So, yeah, our actual physical seasons that we see here on our planet, you know, our weather and our climate and stuff here doesn't really play into how many sunspots we see at all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the compliments. I really do appreciate it. Yes, Ricky's got a channel too. Muse, birthday's in the house. Heck yeah. Hey, you guys want to know about Schumann Resonance? Go over there. But yeah. Yeah, by the way, guys, Muse is not a boy. Just to let you know. Back at you, Brittany. Back at you. I meant, you know, I guess when you look at certain, like, if you can't really see, like, somebody's avatar over here, it does get kind of confusing. I always revert back to that male thing, I guess. Everybody's a man unless they're not, I guess. I don't know. When you're, like, addressing them. And I addressed Muse wrong so many times, even after I was corrected. Yeah. It's embarrassing, but... What you talking about, JC? What you got? Yeah, faster to hit, the more ripples. Yep. Exactly. Actually, if we look, where is the Magnetosphere model? Because I can show it to you. Look, you guys see these ripples? That's basically what's causing that is either an increased density or increased wind speed at that time. That's why you see that. What will happen on the 11th? We're supposed to be getting a geomagnetic storm from a CME. I don't think we're dodging this one, is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be like humongously bad or nothing like that. So please don't think that it is. Well, you're welcome, Russ. You know, I struggle with that pain too, and I understand. Hey, Rebecca. Rose in the house. 36? Man, you're young. Yeah, Bill, Faraday cages, yep. But, you know, guys, you got to really understand what a Faraday cage is, too. I would encourage you guys to really research that out. Matter of fact, Rip is in here. He does a lot of. He's got his own channel, Rip Curl Readiness. Please go check him out too. It most definitely is one of the best, if not the best, place to learn that prepping stuff. I'm not just blowing smoke there either. I really understand him, the way he puts his info out, way better than I do a lot of other people. I'm not saying that other people don't have good prepping channels. I'm just saying that my go-to definitely is Rip. So that's the other thing too, guys. He's kind of like me. He likes to build that connection with people, and I think it's important because it helps us too. And talking about building connections, guys, you guys need to go check out Mark Pires. Check out Tommy over at the Lifeboat. A lot of you guys will probably hear from there tonight. Everybody, I know anybody that's been watching me for a minute knows who Mark is. Just saying. You know what's great though, guys, and I have to say this, that everybody I just mentioned, they're positive people. You're not going to get hate on any one of those channels. Ever. It will not happen. And that's the same thing you get here. And that's, you guys, I'm telling you, that's why we all gravitate towards each other. I really seriously believe that. I don't see how anybody that is so hateful and mean, screaming and yelling at their subscribers, how they're ever helping anybody. I just don't get it. People don't need shocked like that to understand what you're trying to get out there. That's just not I'll just leave it at that. There's so many channels out there that do that. It's just not, I just don't think it's productive. So, yeah, Smitty, it blocks everything out. Hate does. It really does. When somebody comes at me like that, the first thing I do? I will get a blank stare on my face. And most of the time, it's not even intentional. I really do. Thanks, JC. Appreciate you. That's just how it is. I don't even do it on purpose. It just happens. I don't see how anybody else could ever react positively to that. And then some channels out there will demand you to go do certain things, or they're going to take your voice. I don't do that to you guys. Matter of fact, even in this stream, what I say, as long as they're respectful, they can say whatever they want to say about me. I mean, it just is what it is. Will the sun melt? Tom, you're killing me, man. Killing me there. No, the sun will not melt. I promise you. Hey, Seb, I hope you're feeling better, man. You guys are in my thoughts and prayers all the time. Hey, Cheryl. Really are. Yeah, you're right, Rip. And that's the thing, Rip. People like you and me and Verte, same way. Typically anybody here that I'm going to point you guys to, you're not going to get hate over there. You're not going to get ignored. That's the other thing. I'm not going to ignore people. When I remember going to channels, especially bigger ones, and it's made it more difficult on me as my channel grew, but I try to respond as much as I can and interact with people because I remember that when I would drop a comment somewhere, try to, get a question out there to somebody, and I remember getting just completely ignored. Yeah, Judy. So, yeah, it might be a little bit better, huh? Man. Yeah, I know I do that a lot. I use the word when I'm like going on to the next subject, trying to think about what I'm getting ready to say. Black glass on the moon proves the sun micronovas. Yeah, there's some stuff there. Yeah, there's a lot of science there for sure. No, those are all subjects that I've encouraged people to, really dive into. Those big subjects like that, that's not really something that a YouTube channel can, like, unless they're going to dedicate like weeks of time to do that, to really get it out there the right way. Hey, Jackie, what's going on, Jacqueline? Yeah, there I go again. See? So, just kidding. Yeah, that's pretty bad, Cole. D-Sack. That's a good name, by the way. Cul-de-sac. So, yeah, I mean, it is definitely, when those systems start going down and stuff, yeah. Now, I'm going to talk about the Faraday cage just for a second, though. If you're going to build one of those, please make sure you do it right. And if you want to test it, the best way to test it is to stick your cell phone in it and call your cell phone. And if you call your cell phone and your cell phone rings, it's not protected. Hey, Darren, what's up? Yeah, Darren, we could talk about that for a second, too. He says the sun might be going down in the wrong place as far as north to south location, rise, set. This is what I would challenge you guys to do. And I thought about, if you guys want to help me with this, this would be great. Because we can put this whole subject to bed very, very quickly. Hey, good to see you, Daniel. You know how we can do that? If I can get enough people that would send me an email with at sunset or sunrise, day after day after day for a month or so, with what you would have to do, you would have to, like, stand in the same location and keep like a landmark in the picture, like, say, a sign that's always there or something. That way we know what direction it is every time from the same angle. And if we all take a picture and we do that at the same time and it matches up with what is supposed to be, or if it doesn't, then we can compare it. I'm not just going to sit out here and claim something and then not show you guys why I'm claiming it. I'm just not going to do that. So I can't, I don't have my own, like, I haven't done that, is what I'm trying to say. I've not went outside and, like, snapped a picture where the sun's at every day, month after month after month, to see if it is actually moving. And if anybody else has done that, I would be so, I want to see it. Yeah, that's okay, Darren. I mean, honestly. Hey, Mary, what's up? So, when we do that, we would want to be as legit as we possibly can. Not because we can't trust each other, but because when we show the information, we want to be able to say, hey, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to say, hey, you're wrong, look what you did. Well, if you're able to show a timestamp on your phone from the same location, and then you compare that picture with the official where the sun's supposed to be, or the moon, or whatever else, if you compare that, then you'll know. There's no question after that. You don't have to, like, rely on, well, that's what I think I saw. And that's the other thing too, with, like, memory. I'm not going to sit on here and say, well, I don't ever remember it looking like that, or looking like this, or looking like that. I might not remember it, but does it make it true or false? You can't really, there's no C-minute answer there. Because I can tell you this, that something that happened, 20, 30, 40 years ago, can I remember exactly what was going on? Especially like if I was a kid. I didn't pay attention to anything like that, ever. Just saying. I don't know that they're going the wrong way, guys. And that's the thing. There's a lot of, I don't know enough about the rainbow subject to say one way or the other. But you can recreate, like, if you're talking about double rainbow, I think that's what you're talking about there. And what that would be is, guys, if you guys have never seen most people have seen a double rainbow, but what they don't notice is that when you see the rainbow on the bottom, the color sequence is exactly reverse of what it is on the second rainbow above it. You can recreate that in your own home. So, is it normal or is it not? I don't know. That's all I got for you on that one. I've heard some, like, talk about that. I haven't really dug into it, Rose. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, Mellow Mom. I haven't, that's not something I even have ever looked at, really, to be honest with you. Yeah, I got a landline too. Yeah, guys, we can, you're talking about the cul-de-sac, yeah, like the color of the sky. There's a lot of science behind that too, that you can actually go look at. From year to year, guys, we get the Sahara dust comes over from, and this is just an example. I'm not saying that's what we're seeing here. What I'm saying is it's just an example of how one phenomenon can actually change the way the sky looks from year to year. It could be different, depending on how much Sahara dust actually makes it across from year to year. Or wildfires. That's another great example of that. So there's all kinds of things that changes our atmospheric properties that will definitely change the way light looks. Okay? So that's just kind of what it is. Satellite phone? Yeah. Those are cool. Yeah, you're right, T43 Gaming. Man, I couldn't have said that any better, to be honest with you. That's not just when we're talking about light. That's everything. It's all about where you're standing at. Hey, Carolyn. That's okay. Guys, listen, I've been getting that a lot. And it's not just my channel, just so you guys know. Notifications aren't going out. I'm not sure what's going on. And it's not just on one side or the other. As far as mainstream or alternative, this is across the board. So I think it's a YouTube issue right now. Everybody's experiencing it. You can see it. Let me tell you how you know that's happening. Go to a channel that like when they first start their stream, they get a bunch of people pretty quick. And if you go to their live stream and the notifications didn't go out, their views, whoever's in the room, will be really, really slow to build. And that's why. Yeah, you're right, JC, it is. What's the backdrop in the sky? That could actually just be our atmosphere. It all depends on what, because our atmosphere, guys, is actually a backdrop. It just depends on how much of it is being diffused as far as the light goes and all that. So that's a physical thing. Our atmosphere is made up of different stuff. And it changes. It's fluid. So yeah, I mean, and again, guys, there's subjects there that I'm sure you're probably going for, like, I don't know, a dome or something. Is that kind of what you're hinting at there? And again, I don't. Again, I don't like. That's not me. I actually don't think that that's what's going on. But I respect your opinion to be able to have that. That's, yeah, if that's what you're saying. In clear blue sky? Well, even though it's clear, you don't know what it's like in the higher parts of our atmosphere. So, that's what I'm saying there. try this. If you're saying we need a backdrop, and this is the only thing I would say that, you might try this, because this is where my mind goes with this. Go outside, and I remember being a kid, and I did it with my kids when they were growing up. Go outside with a hose and spray that water until you see a rainbow, and make it horizontal to your eyesight. There wouldn't be no backdrop there either. If you wanted to say that there was needed to be like a really physical backdrop there to reflect the light like that. And it don't have to be long distance either. Because you can make a rainbow right out in the same, just right out there in front of you with the hose. You don't even have to, you can even do it in the house. Yeah, the house rainbow cul-de-sac. Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate you. Yeah, T4. I mean, and that's the thing, guys. I think that, and those are all good things, and that's, yeah. What makes the colors that we see, right? It is about what the light spectrum itself. Is the sky always pink? Just depends on what you're looking through and where you're looking from. It really does, because it refracts the light in so many different ways. That's okay, Efren. Good to see you. Yeah, we can, Arky. We can do that. Actually, I'd have to go find it, but I seen there's a channel called, what's that channel called? Give me a second. Yeah, there I go with the thing again. It's a college that I happened to run across their YouTube channel, and I was looking at linear motors, magnetic linear motors that don't have any moving parts. Okay, I was just looking at stuff, just thought it was cool. But this was shown back. This was a video made back in the 70s or 60s, and they were doing not rainbows in this instance, but I would bet that this channel probably might have some stuff there on that. It's London something, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, that's give me a second, I'll find it. I at least want to give you the name of it, because it is a good source to go look at. But I've seen, for me, I've seen videos of people recreating those things. It's called the Imperial College London, is what the channel name is. But there's a lot of cool stuff on there you guys can go check out. I would, if I was you. Linear motors are awesome. They really are. All right, see you, Rose. I'll probably stop in there in a few minutes. Yeah, Arky, the one that did the magnetic stuff. Yeah, that's this is like from, I'm talking years ago, where they had to actually use film to record it. But yeah. Oh, I got cable. My phone still works. You like that channel too, Arky? I'm glad you do, because it definitely is. It's a cool thing to go look at over there, guys. I really would encourage you guys to go there. You could be right on that cable phone thing, though. It just hit me, Carrie. I think, yeah, we do have a cable landline, so you're probably right. Yeah. I bet I don't have an analog landline. I bet you're right. Hadn't really given that much thought. Thanks. What will happen on Earth because of this? We're going to get increased aurora. We may see, oh, who knows, really. I mean, if you live in higher latitudes, you might see some transformer issues. There might be some voltage alarms. You guys can read it right here. I would encourage you to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. It is what it is. So yeah. Did Mark just go live? Okay. Hey guys, if you guys want to hang out with me, let's do this. Let's your channel. Let's go here real quick. Let me go to Mark Pires. Where you at, Marky? I know you're live. So if you guys want to come over here, I'm gonna go hang out in the chat. Let's go hang out there for a little while, guys. You want to? I'm gonna go over here. I'd really appreciate it if you guys come over here and just said, hey. We haven't given Mark a love bomb in a few minutes, But if you guys want to laugh, hear some good music, all the above, please do that. Also, guys, please check out the lifeboat. That's in my description. I've been saying it every video lately, and so please go check it out. But I'm going to go over here to Mark's channel here. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But please come over here, check it out. Say, hey, I'm here from Wages World. What's up, Pires family? But yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Nikki. So, yeah, guys, I am going to go ahead and bolt out. If you guys want to come over here, I'm sure Mark, it put a smile on Mark's face. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.